everyone, this is Assistant Professor Dharam Unadkat welcomes you all to the subject Effective Technical Communication. As we know, we are moving with the module number 3, that is Technical Communication. In the previous video, we have started with the new topic, that is negotiation. In that video, we have covered what is negotiation. It is the discussion with someone in order to reach an agreement. This is the definition of the negotiation. Also, we have covered the process of negotiation and negotiation styles. Today we will continue the same topic, that is negotiation, and we'll have a look on how to negotiate. There are various steps of how to negotiate. First step is preparation. Having proper knowledge about the things, product or the project and the party is very important. We will first have the knowledge of the product which we are going to buy or which we are going to sell. We have proper knowledge of that. It is also important to ask the questions to find out the needs of the other party. Try to learn about the strength and weakness of the other party. It is very important. You must know the strength and the weakness of the opponent party. Also, you must know the strength and weakness of yourself. That means that the other opponent person cannot have the benefit on your strength and weakness. So first step is the preparation. Second is have a plan. You must be clear about your own expectations from the negotiation. Be clear about what you want and stick to it. At some time, don't be too unrealistic in keeping your expectations. Sometimes you have heard that the other person says that this product is of 1000 rupees and that person have that product in 800 rupees, but if you say give me that product in 500 rupees, it is the unrealistic negotiation. It is not possible that that product is of 500 rupees. So have some realistic negotiation in your mind. Have a plan of that. You must also keep the margins, expectations and the limitation of the other party. You don't have to think only about yourself, but you have to also have margin of the other person. Keeping unrealistic expectation will lead to no deal. There will be a closing of the deal having an unrealistic approach. Third step is the body language. Your body language must not show aggressiveness or any other negative emotions. Your non-verbal communication says a lot about the negotiation. Think and reply objectively rather than becoming personal. You don't have to be personal, you have to think objective, you have to keep the margin of yourself, also the margin of the other person. Also observe the body language of the other party. If you negotiate and the other party lean forward, you say that the other party is interested in the negotiation. You can exactly tell at which point the other party is comfortable and at which point he or she wants to say no. You have that strength of judging. If you are able to observe the body language minutely. For example, if you are a seller and having a talk with your buyer across a table, the point at which the buyer leans forward, as we have discussed, the buyer leans forward is the point of their interest, and you can take the advantage of this information. So you have that strength, as we have discussed, you have strength and weakness of the other person. Your strength that the opponent person is interested in the negotiation. Fourth step is go for win-win solution. Always try to go for the win-win solution, where both the parties are happy with the deal. As we have discussed, don't take the negotiation personal. You have to negotiate objectively. When a collaborative negotiation happens, there is always a win-win solution. If one of the parties is very competitive, and it might happen that one of the parties will quickly lose the interest in the deal. If one of the parties is submissive, then you will end a win-lose or the lose-win solution, where there is a compromise at the one end and so the contribution of the compromising party is less towards the deal, even the future courses of the actions. So you don't have to win-lose or lose-win solution. But the win-win solution is a situation where both the parties gain something in the deal. Both of them come to an agreement, where there is expectation are almost met with. Here in the win-win solution, the expectation of both the parties, that is the buyer and the seller, met with. For example, a smartphone owner doesn't give the discount of his customers, but instead Instead, he agrees to give earphones or stylish cover for free to the customers. If the buyer says to have to negotiate the mobile phone, the seller may not negotiate, but he can offer the earphone or the stylish cover, and here how the win-win solution arises. And the last step is the make a written deal or contract. This last point, that is the dealing and the contract, is for the corporate world. When you negotiate for the share, when you negotiate for the salary or the increment, here there is a written deal or the contract. If there is a deal or the contract, or if the decision of negotiation has an effect in the future course of action, if your negotiation has effect in the future course, then it is important to note down each and every point according to what you have agreed upon during your negotiation. There may be different aspects, for example, prices, number of products, warranty, delivery time, etc. If you get the warranty of the phone, of anything, you have the written deal, which you may have agreed upon during your discussion, and they all need to be noted down on a piece of paper to avoid the misunderstanding. This is only to avoid the misunderstanding in the future. At last, a deal must be formalized and signed by all the stakeholders. So this is the 5 steps where you have know how to negotiate. The preparation, you must have prepare the product thing, the opponent party, etc. The project. Also, you have planned that I want this product at minimum to minimum this price. So you have plan of that. You have the positive body language. Also, you have to go for the win-win solution. You don't have to go for the win-lose or the lose-win solution. And last step is make a written deal or the contract. When your negotiation have some effect in the future course, then you have to go for the written deal or the contract. So these are the 5 steps of how to negotiate. Now the next is tips to improve the negotiation skill. If you have to improve your negotiation skill, there are some tips. First is identify the final goal. What are the minimum terms you need? How much you are willing to negotiate? It's important to enter the negotiation knowing what you want of an agreement and how much you are willing to compromise. For example, your ultimate goal may be to negotiate a salary up to 80,000, but yes, you are willing to settle at this 75,000. You have decided that I want salary 80,000, but yes, you have planned that I will settle at 75,000. You have such goals, you have such final amount in your mind that below 75,000 I will not accept the salary amount. So this is how you have final goal in your mind. This way you can improve your negotiation skill. Second, practice building rapport. Rapport means you have same thinking. You have to make same thinking as the opponent. Successful negotiation requires you to effectively communicate not only your own goal but also to understand the other party's wants and needs as well. In order to reach an agreement, building rapport is essential. This can assist you in easing tension. In order to build rapport, showing respect for other parties and using the active listening skill are critical. Being a rapport, you have to active the listening skill is more critical. So practice building the rapport. That means practice having the same thought of the opponent or the client. Third is the be willing to compromise. This is very important. Without compromise, it can be nearly impossible to reach an agreement. By preparing ahead of time, you will already have an idea of the terms you are willing to sacrifice as well as the ones that if you aren't met, you would be willing to walk away from the deal. So if you don't compromise, if the other party don't compromise, you are out from the deal. So be willing to compromise. Fourth, consider imposing time restrictions. Setting a timeline on the negotiation motivates both the party to reach an agreement. You have thought that I will negotiate 5 to 10 times, or you can also have time limit that I will negotiate half an hour, but after that I will lose the deal. If terms cannot be met in that time, the two parties can take time to reevaluate their needs and return to a later date. If it is a contract or the business deal, you can meet again in the later date. So consider the imposing the time restriction. Fifth, take the multiple offer approach. By presenting multiple offer at once, you can save the time of the negotiation process and increase the likelihoodness that you will agree on at least one of your preferred outcomes. If the other party declines, you can then ask for the feedback on each one and reverse the terms until you reach an agreement that meets everyone's needs. So take the multiple offer, as we have discussed, that if the buyer needs some discount in the mobile phone, then what can the seller do? He can either give the earphones or can have the cover. So this way there is a win-win solution. The other approach, what the buyer have chosen, the other approach of the discount. So this way you have a multiple offer approach. Sixth is exercise confidence. This is the main strength of the negotiation, confidence level. It can be challenging to ask for what you want. However, successful negotiation requires self-assurance. By exercising confidence in your negotiation, the other party can be more inclined to believe in the benefits of your proposal. So if you have confidence, or if the other party have confidence, the other person have to be inclined to see the proposal. So exercise for confidence for the negotiation. Seventh, don't take no personally. As we have discussed yesterday also, in the last video also, that don't take no personally. You don't have to take the negotiation personally. Sometimes each party's goals and the needs are too different from each other. When this happens, evaluate the process, consider why things did not go as planned, and look for the ways you may be able to improve your efforts next time. So don't take the no personally in the negotiation. Eighth is understand your weaknesses. Take time to identify your area of weakness and focus on growing those skills. For example, you may need to improve your ability to build a rapport or your power of persuasion. Understanding your weaknesses is the first step to overcoming them. So here, know your weaknesses, as we have discussed. Also know your strength, improve your confidence. Also have an idea of other person's strength and the weaknesses. And the last point is practice, which is very much important. Again, one of the best way to improve or to increase your comfort in the negotiation is to practice often. Consider trying a mock negotiation with a trusted friend or the colleague. You continuously practice, or you have the mock negotiation with your colleague in the office or the organization. So these are the 9 steps where how you can improve your negotiation skill. Identify the final goal, practice building a rapport, be willing to compromise, consider imposing time restriction, take the multiple approach, exercise confidence, don't take no personally, understand your weaknesses, and practice. So these are the points to improve the negotiation skill. Here in the 2 videos we have completed the 5th topic, that is negotiation skill. Next topic we are going to cover is the critical and creative thinking in the next video. So meeting in the next video of the same module number 3. Thank you.